Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. My name is Sibiano Tandazo. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome to join the Mentorship Corner family. First, please click the subscribe button down below. Number two, click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we upload content. And then of course, like our videos and engage and watch some of our content. To my returning subscriber, the Mentorship Corner family, welcome back guys. Welcome to another video where we're going to learn and grow together. On today's video, we are discussing one of my favorite topics, but I know it's a bit of a sensitive topic because we are talking something along the lines of finance. We are talking about lifestyle inflation. Basically, we're going to discuss what is lifestyle inflation, how does one fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation, and how one can save themselves from lifestyle inflation. The last thing we're going to discuss is basically I'm going to be sharing with you my story with lifestyle inflation. And then basically what I'm doing differently this time around in order to ensure that I do not fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation again. If you haven't watched my first video on lifestyle inflation, I'm going to link it on the description box down below, but I'm also going to link it on this video so that you will be able to watch it. So first things first. What is lifestyle inflation? Some people call it lifestyle creep, some call it lifestyle inflation. It's just words used interchangeably, but it means the same thing. So lifestyle inflation is basically when your expenses increase as your income increases. So for example, if when you started working you were earning about 15,000 rands and your living expenses were about 8,000 rands, and then you get a promotion at work, and then all of a sudden now you feel like you want to live in a better apartment, or you want to now drive a better car, or like buy a car, then that means your living expenses are actually going to increase because your salary has now increased. So instead of you actually keeping your living expenses at about 8,000 rands, like how you did before you got this 20 grand promotion, you are now spending 15,000 rands on living expenses, and you have dropped your residual income. So the main problem about lifestyle inflation is that it's this pressure that people feel, that we feel. I'm not saying people because I've also been through it. It's this pressure that you feel when you're getting an increase in your salary, and then all of a sudden you want to increase your lifestyle. So then alternatively what you would do is you would then want to rent out a bigger place or a better place or a place in a more affluent neighborhood. You will want to drive a better car. Like most people will then all of a sudden now trade in their car and get a more like luxurious car, or like a more higher end car compared to what they actually afford. The bottom line is, it's not that you can't afford to get these things, but if we're being realistic about it, you want to, when your salary increases, to drop your expenses so that you can have more residual income to actually invest and save and contribute to other things that will grow you financially and bring about your financial stability. Bad things about lifestyle inflation, three most bad things about lifestyle inflation. The first one is basically you end up going into bad debt because you increase your living expenses, and then all of a sudden you end up increasing your credit card, for example, or getting a credit card, and then all of a sudden now you end up tapping more into that credit, and then you increase your car insurance, your car premium, because now you probably got like a better car, and then sometimes you've moved into like a more expensive area, and then your rental payment is actually more expensive, which then leads you to taking out more credit cards, or taking out a personal loan to try and cover up for the other things that are important, which unfortunately is not what you want for your life, because you want to run away from bad debt as much as possible. The second thing is that you end up with no savings, because once you have paid off for all your living expenses, you have little to no residual income, and that means that you won't have enough money to put away in savings. You don't have enough money to put away for your investments and stuff, right? And ultimately this leads to financial instability. All of a sudden you start feeling like your finances are all over the place and you are not stable, and that's a problem, because then it causes financial anxiety. So what you need to try and do is you need to try and control your finances, control basically how much you spend and how much money you earn, and then try to avoid falling into the trap of lifestyle inflation. Or why is lifestyle inflation a problem? 4 things that I'm going to touch on. The first one is bad debt. I've already touched on that. Basically what happens is that as your lifestyle increases, lifestyle need or like lifestyle expenses increase because of your increased salary, you end up tapping into more credit, which is not good for your credit score, and it's not good for your finances, especially for the future. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that some people unfortunately are never fully satisfied. The reason for that is that you attach your happiness and your joy and your fulfillment to material things. So the more money you have, the more money you want to spend, because for you, you need validation sometimes from other people or like from social media to say, okay, fine, now I'm driving an Audi, or now I'm driving a BMW, or now I'm driving a Mini Cooper. And then that gives you the satisfaction. But that satisfaction is very temporary, because you're still not happy at your work, for example. Or 2, you have all of these materialistic things, but your finances are very unstable, which means you've got financial anxiety, and which means you're tossing and turning at night, basically, because your life is kind of all over the place, because you are looking for fulfillment and happiness and joy from materialistic things. I'm not saying that buying stuff to make yourself happy is a bad thing, but attaching your joy and your happiness to just materialistic things will lead to you being unsatisfied in life, because you will keep working and working and working and working, but because what you're doing you don't enjoy, you are attaching your happiness to the materials, and sometimes you may not be able to get the materialistic thing that you want to be able to get, and then you end up being depressed, and then you end up having like more mental health problems than you had anticipated, because you've attached your satisfaction, fulfillment, happiness to basically materialistic things. So I think it's very important to find fulfillment in the work that you do, and also the things that you do on a daily basis, so that you do not fall for the trap of lifestyle inflation, right? The next thing, which is number 3, is that it hinders you from achieving your goals. So this is, I've added it there because there's just certain goals that need you to stay focused and that need you to stay disciplined. For example, if you had planned that you're going to save, let's say 50k by the end of the year, and you had planned that with your 15k salary, and you were able to like make it work, and you had a plan and you just had to stick to the plan, all of a sudden now you got an increase at work. It should make your plan easier ultimately, but if you're gonna keep increasing your lifestyle to suit the amount of money that you're earning at that particular time in your life, it's gonna cause you to not be able to achieve your goals, because you're not using your finances properly. You're just using it to buy more materialistic things and to increase your lifestyle value, which is not a bad thing. But if you're gonna keep doing that over and over again, and neglecting your goals, and especially neglecting your financial goals, you are heading towards disaster. Like, you're just going downhill basically, and before you know it, you'll be living a very, very unhappy, stressful life. The last one is what I've been highlighting throughout all these 3 points, is that all of this causes financial instability. To be financially stable, I mean, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but to be financially stable, you need to have the financial freedom, which means you've got money to buy you time. For you to be able to have money to buy you time, you need to have money that you've saved for emergencies, money that you saved for like your trips and whatever, and then also money that you have invested for your retirement as well as your financial freedom. So if you're gonna keep using up all the money just to satisfy your current lifestyle and not save up for the future, you are causing a very, very, very big problem for yourself. So you need to definitely look out for that. Just be very, 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 very careful. So the 4 problems or the 4 reasons why lifestyle inflation is a problem is that it makes you to tap into bad debt. Most people are never fully satisfied because you're not living out your purpose. You're just attaching materialistic things to your happiness. Third thing is that it hinders you from being able to achieve your financial goals and ultimately your goals in life. And the last one is that it causes financial instability. I have got a list of things that you can practice starting today that can help you to avoid or save yourself from lifestyle inflation. It's a bit of a long list. How many things? Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got about 7 things that you can start doing today to ensure that you avoid lifestyle inflation and also to save yourself from lifestyle inflation if you're already trapped in that. Right, so the first one is basically understand your spending. This is very, very, very important. So understand how much money comes into your account and basically understand how much money leaves your account and why it's leaving your account. This will help you to understand where you are basically spending unnecessarily and then help you to figure out which expenses are necessary for you to cut down in order to increase the percentage of your residual income. The second thing is budget. So budget, guys. So every month before the month begins, have a budget for that month before your payday so that you understand how much money you're getting paid and then you understand where your money is supposed to go. And then under your budget, remember you must have a percentage that's going towards your investment, a percentage that's going towards your savings, and then a percentage that's going towards your living expenses. So try to make sure that you divide it accordingly and then you're able to use your money efficiently. So budget. The next one is create a financial buffer. So by this, you can have an emergency fund, or you can have just a savings account that you can, it's flexible for you to be able to tap into whenever you need like additional money for that month for like a particular thing. Let's say maybe you need to take a car for a service and then there's something you need to pay in extra for that you didn't budget for. Then you've got that cushion to tap into instead of having to now tap into a credit card, for example, or now having to tap into going to the bank and like borrowing money through a personal loan facility. So have that financial buffer or financial cushion that you're going to be able to tap into should you find yourself in financial distress. The fourth thing is basically save up for your big purchases. So if you want to get a new phone, for example, instead of taking your phone on contract, save up the amount that you need to buy a phone for like a couple of months and then go purchase that phone cash. That's going to ensure that you don't have a lot of money that's like coming out of your account on a debit order basis with an interest rate attached to it, which means you are actually losing more money than you are getting into your account. So try by all means, like for example, if you're going to be buying clothes, instead of having a store account, try and buy cash for all of your clothes. If you're going to be buying, let's say, a laptop, instead of buying it on contract, try and buy it for cash. Even a car and a house, if you can save up money to either buy it cash or at least have like a big amount as your deposit, that's going to ensure that the amount of money that comes out of your account on a monthly basis is not that much, which then will leave you with that financial freedom even with your basic salary, right? The next one is automate your savings and your investments. So I've recently started doing this. I started this year, beginning of the year, where I realized that on my app, I actually, so first I have like a savings account and an investment account. So my investment account is basically just a tax-free like investment, whatever savings account. So what I do is each month I used to just pay like a certain amount into each account, right? But now what I've done is I have decided to automate my payments. So I've already added let's for example, my tax-free savings account as a beneficiary on my app. So what I then did was I scheduled my payments and I made them for the next 12 months, which means I have a debit order going out of my account every month when I get paid, which goes directly into my savings without me even seeing, okay, fine, actually I've got this extra 1,000 rands, but it's going to be gone because it's money that I'm supposed to be investing, or it's money that I'm supposed to be saving. So I found this like makes my life so much easier, because instead of me thinking that I've got money that I don't have, and instead of me feeling the pain of saving money away when I know I actually want to use it for something else, by the time all my debit orders are done on my account and I've got that residual income that remains behind, I know all of my savings and my investments have been taken care of, and the money that I have is the money that I can blow for the month, and it's fine, it's okay. And if there's very little money left, I'm just like, as long as I survive the month, then it's fine. So that's what I've started doing. So automate, as long as you can automate your savings and investments accounts, just do it. You're gonna thank me later. The next one is do your financial planning properly. Remember guys, I did a whole video on financial planning. I'm gonna link it I'm gonna link it for you guys. If I don't link it on the actual video, I'm gonna add it on the description box down below. But understand what you want your money to do and what you need your money to do, and then have a future financial plan where this is where you see yourself in the future, and this is how much money you should have in your account. And then work backwards and see how much money you should be putting away now in order for you to achieve that goal. And then the last and most important one is, if you can, go and get a financial advisor. These people are paid to help you manage your money better. But obviously get a good financial advisor who has your best interest in mind, and not people who are just trying to get you to tap into my investment accounts just because they'll get a bigger commission from it. You must understand why you're opening a certain account, and you must understand why it's important to save money for these particular reasons, and the return on investment obviously must make sense to you as well. So make sure that you get a good financial advisor. So the 7 things that you can do to avoid lifestyle inflation, or to save yourself from lifestyle inflation, are as follows. Number 1, understand your spending. Number 2, budget. Very, very important. Number 3, create a financial buffer. This could be your emergency fund, money you can tap into if you are in financial distress. Number 3, save up for big purchases and don't take credits for these purchases. Number 4, automate your savings and investments account payments so that you don't have to do it yourself on a monthly basis. Number 5, oh gosh, I think I'm on number 6. Number 6, do your financial planning properly and ensure that you understand what you're saving for and why you're saving for it. And the last one is have a financial advisor you can trust, who is for you and for your financial growth. Alright, so the last interesting part of this video is basically me sharing with you guys how last year I was so close to falling into the trap of lifestyle inflation. So I'm gonna just run you guys through it. So when I moved to KZN, I got an increase in my salary. So I was moving to a small town, which means I wasn't really paying a lot of money for rent. I still am not paying a lot of money for rent. Basically, my living expenses were not a lot, like my rent, my groceries, paying for my car, my insurance and stuff. It wasn't a lot. However, I was closer to my family, which is something I hadn't had ever since I started working. So what I started doing was I was going home at least twice a month. And guys, with the spike in fuel, it was so expensive to go home. But Umo girl thought she had all of the bucks, and I was going home like once or twice a month. I would go see my grand, I go see my parents, and obviously when you go home, I won't go and not buy anything. Like I'll buy them some like small groceries and like some snacks for the kids, maybe some toys and whatever. And then the second thing that hit me was that I was closer to most of my friends. Like most of my friends are here in KZN, so I had this thing of saying, okay, fine, I've been away for so long, now I need to try and catch up. Guys, like it was such a trap, because it's not like I hadn't been seeing my friends like throughout the years, but all of a sudden I felt like I had to attend every birthday party. I had to say yes to every trip that my friends planned. I had to say yes to every lunch that someone planned, even if it's enjoyable. Like but I had to I would literally feel like, okay, Durban is right here, so let's just drive to Durban, let's just drive to Mpangeni and have lunch with friends and then go see my family. But like all of that caused a lot of financial instability in my world, because I wasn't saving the money that I was supposed to be saving. I had a target for the end of the year and I didn't meet it. I wasn't investing the money that I was supposed to invest. I was supposed to increase my retirement annuity last year and I didn't increase it. And I did not pay off my credit card. So by October, November last year, I had my meeting with my financial advisor. We went through my finances, and boy, oh boy, did she bite my head off. Like, she was just like, Norma, you cannot continue like that. Like, I understand that you were excited, you kind of overdid it, but now it's time to get yourself checked and basically to get your shit together. So these are the things that I am practicing now on a monthly basis that have helped me to just regain control of my finances and to feel in control. Some of it are things that I've shared on things that you can use. Basically, you can do to avoid or save yourself from lifestyle inflation, but I'm just sharing with you guys things that I've done personally to try and gain the financial control over my finances, right? Now, the number one thing that I did was I basically did a debit order. Like, I scheduled my payments via debit order for all my savings accounts. And what I did was I made sure to my savings accounts, because I'm saving for my emergency fund, and then obviously it's the investment. So I made sure to the type of investments and some of the investments that I took, I can't access the money immediately, because right now I'm still building the capital, right? So I can't really tap into it. So I made sure, I think it's like those 32-day notice deposits, where when you want to withdraw the money, you have to wait for at least a month to receive the money. This saves me a lot, because throughout the months I've had months where I was like, flip, this month is really bad financially and I really need some cash. But then I did not dare go and take that money, because I knew that if I go, they will penalize me for withdrawing it earlier than the 30 days or the 32 days. So I made sure I schedule all of my savings and investments payments, and that too, it was not easy for me to access the money, which saved me a hell of a lot. And I'm still doing that for this year again, and it's still continuing to save me a lot. Number two, what I did was I redid a quote for my car insurance. I felt like I was paying a lot of money for my car insurance. Even my financial advisor was like, you know what, baby girl, you need to get it right. You need to get an insurance company that's going to pay you. It's going to take less money from you for your car insurance premium. So I did a bit of shopping around after I moved into the new place, and I got like a really, really, really good car insurance, and then I took that. So now I am saving about like 800 rands or so on my car insurance, which means I have been able to increase my residual income, and that means that I can increase an amount that I'm putting away in my savings and my investments. The third thing that I did was I dropped my expenses. So what I then started doing was I would print out my what's this thing? The income statement. Oh gosh, what is it called? I think it's called my monthly bank statement. My bank statement is my bank statement. So I've been practicing to print it out and then check out where all my money is going, and so that it's also divided. Okay, fine. This is where I'm spending most of my money, which is not necessary. So then I cut that down, and then I also realized that I had about 3 subscriptions that I wasn't really using. So then I cancelled all of them, and I was able to increase my residual income. So check all of that, because there are certain subscriptions you don't use, and some of them you just don't need. So just cancel those subscriptions and keep your money and use it for something else that is more worth it compared to paying for my subscriptions. The last thing that I'm basically working on is I'm working on growing my income streams so that I can have more residual income, which will then result in me being able to save more money for my financial freedom. So those are the 4 things that I have been practicing personally that seem to have worked for me to make sure I've got more control of my life and don't ever fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. What I just want to remind you guys before I love and leave you is that it's gonna happen one way or another, and it's okay, because sometimes you just make it too excited and want something just because you got an increase at work. But you need to always keep these steps in check so that you do not for like 6 months or like a year or 2 years, and then you find yourself in more debt and in financial problems that you would have easily avoided if you took control of your finances. And I think the last thing I want to say is that don't be scared to take control of your finances, because if you don't do it, no one is going to do it for you. I love you guys absolutely a lot. It is goodbye from me. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember, subscription is free, guys. Please help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. Just click on the subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already, and then click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we upload new content. I love you guys absolutely a lot. Enjoy your week. Gosh, I almost said weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.